Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to try a few new Covergirl, oh my god, I can't say girl, the new Covergirl products that I purchased last night when we went to do our warehouse run. Now I was originally going to pick up the foundation as well, but sadly they don't have enough shades. So I ended up picking only 4 products. So I have here the Sculpting palette, which has the bronzer, blush, and a highlight. And then I also have the highlighting palette, and I have this brow shape and define brow gel, as well as the primer. So I've already done my eyes because I personally am not a fan of any CoverGirl eyeshadows, but I do have one CoverGirl foundation in here, and this is the Ready Set Gorgeous foundation. I believe this was from their collection 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, but again, this is like way too light. So what I'm going to do is to actually cream contour as well, just to get the tone. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into the video. So we are going to start off with the Covergirl Turbulence Base Business, and this is the skin primer, and this one retails for $17 New Zealand, and I find that warehouse actually do sell Covergirl products cheaper than Farmers. I think they came out with 2 new primers, and I got the pore minimizing one, and it says that it visibly reduces and blurs pores while mattifying shine. This is actually purple. It's very different. It just smells like skin moisturizer, and it feels like a gel moisturizer as well. It has like a film residue when you apply it to the skin. It did actually kind of blur my pores around this area right here, and I find that it feels moisturizing as well. It doesn't feel like very silicone-y and overly mattifying. So I'm interested to see on how the foundation will actually work on top of this product, but it's drying quite matte. It's not like very tacky or anything at all. So what I'm going to do is to apply the Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, and I'm just gonna speed it up because I don't have any other base CoverGirl makeup. Now we are going to try this Turbulence Serving Sculpt palette, and I believe this one retailed for $17 as well. And this is what it looked like. I'm not sure when this product launched in New Zealand. I believe it launched sometime last month, because I've only seen this recently at a store. So this one is in the shade 500. I'm not sure how many shades they have, but this is the only one that is available in New Zealand. So this is what it looks like. This highlighter right here has got like a pink sheen to it, and also the blush has got a little bit of shimmer, and then we have the matte bronzer. So this is what it looks like. The bronzer you can't really tell, but we will try out the bronzer. So I'm going to grab this Eco Tools brush, and it's not that powdery, which is good because I actually quite like bronzers that aren't super powdery. It's showing up a little bit on my skin tone, not intensely though, so. Ooh, it does smell good. It smells like chocolates. Like, you know, the Nesquik chocolate drink. That smells so good. It kind of showed up on my skin a little bit. If you compare the bronzer to my usual bronzer slash contour, it's not much of a difference. Only this one is a little bit lighter and more cool tone as opposed to this one, which is a little bit warmer and red tone. But oh my god, the smell is so good. So what I'm going to do is to dip into the blush. It's quite pigmented, so a little goes a long way. The blush is pretty. It is very shimmery on the palette, but it doesn't really translate onto the skin. It just gives you like a nice sheen. And you could easily go overboard because I only put a little bit in now. It's looking a little bit too much. But it's actually quite nice. I'm gonna put a little bit of the bronzer. The foundation is still a little bit too light, but we'll just get on with it. So that's the bronzer and the blush. I feel like this bronzer looks a little bit more of a red tone on my skin because it doesn't really show up as like, you know, that brown. We are going to try out this highlighter right here on my nose because I have another highlighting palette that I wanted to try. Oh, that is so pigmented and very soft. Like, it's not chunky or powdery at all. It kind of reminds me of the Wet n Wild highlighter. So I'm going to put that on my inner corner as well because it has more of that pinky tone to it. I feel like on my skin tone this will be a good blush topper because as you can see it's more of that peach. Yeah, no, it's pink. It's more of that pink glow, so it won't be too flattering on my skin tone. So we are going to try out this highlighter, and this one is called Super Stunner palette as well, and it's just a highlight trio. And this is what it looks like. Again, it's so pretty. You have the gold highlighter, you have a more champagne one, and more like a pinky one. Oh, this one doesn't smell as good. So it doesn't have a scent to it. And I am going to swatch. This highlighter palette is so smooth to the touch. And oh my god, it's so pigmented. Look at that pigment though. That is so pretty. Like, it feels so soft. It just glided on very smoothly. It's not patchy or whatever. And it's not like overly chunky. You can definitely see a lot of shimmer there, but it's not like the chunky shimmer. So we're going to dust off our brush, and I think I am going to go and use the shade right here because this one kind of looked a little bit too icy, like it's that one right there. So I think I'm going to mix these two. That is so pretty. Like, this is the first time that I've seen Covergirl really stepped up their game. I have tried their concealer and their foundation in the past, but I have not really tried any of the highlighter or any other face powder from them. Except for that wrong shade that I threw out recently. But oh my god. That is like intense. So I suggest you having a very light hand on the highlighter palette because it's so intense. Like, it's very metallic and shimmery, but it's not like chunky shimmers. It doesn't really accentuate a lot of my textures, especially on this side right here where I have quite a lot of small bumps. But yeah, that is so pretty. Gonna put a little bit more. So I actually quite like this highlighter palette. If I were to choose in between these two, I feel like I'm going to go for the highlighter palette as opposed to this one, because this one, if you have a fairer skin tone, I think this will work for you, but because I have more of a medium tan skin tone, it doesn't. The bronzer here doesn't really show up as much, and I feel like looking at it now, it has more of like a pinky tone to it, which I don't really like, especially if I want to bronze my face. But if you want like a nice flush, the blush here is great. The highlighter is more of like a blush topper. Last product that we're going to try is this brow mascara right here. I mainly purchased this one because the one looks very different. The traditional brow gel usually would have like this kind of brush or a little bit smaller that can easily fit in your brows, but this one is totally different. It has a curved one, so this one is in the shade Rich Brown, which I believe is the darkest that they sell. So this is what the one looks like. It looks more like a mascara as opposed to a brow gel, but we'll see how that will work on my brows. So I've already filled in my brows with a brow pencil, and now what I'm going to do is to actually use the curved side to smooth in my brows. It definitely filled in the sparse areas of my brows. It set it beautifully and it made it look like I have more hair, and I definitely get why the shape is like this, because if you put it like this, you could easily use this around the arch of your brows with no hassle. Like you could literally just go like that and it just follows the arch of your brows, which is so nifty. Like I've never seen anything like this before. That's why I purchased this, and this one I believe retailed for $12 or could be more. I will list all the prices down below if I can find them online, but definitely under $20. And I actually quite like how it made my brows. Surprisingly, this kind of one works. And my brows looks more fluffy, looks very smooth as well, like a fluffy smooth, like I have more brows. And this one says that it has a mousse formula that shapes and defines brows. It doesn't smear or smudge, and the curved brush applicator allows you for precise, no mess application, which I totally agree, because the curve easily just hugs your arch. You could just easily go with one swipe and no mess at all. It's a very genius invention. This is my sort of like first impression of new products from Covergirl. Overall, I actually quite like the highlighter. I mean, the highlighter is just the star of this whole first impression. It's amazing. It's less than $20, and it's another highlighting palette that I could definitely recommend. As for the blush, even though it smells amazing, I don't really like the fact that the bronzer showed up as more of like a blush on my skin tone. I think that's what it's supposed to do, but thinking that you have this color, this color, and this color, it should be like a all-in-one palette. But I guess for like a day-to-day wear, or like if you just want a little bit of color on your face, this is a good palette to go with. Brow gel, oh my god, it blew me away. Like I was actually hesitating on purchasing this one because I thought, oh, it's just another gimmick that a brand did to get people into buying stuff. But yeah, surprisingly, it actually smoothed my brows. It like laid it on properly. It made my brows look a little bit more hairy than usual, and the precision of the application is on point. I definitely recommend this one as well, especially if you have oily skin, because looking at my skin right now, my pores is usually huge around this area right here, but everything else is very smooth. I'm very matte, and it doesn't feel drying. In fact, it feels a lot more moisturizing than the other primers that I have tried. So I recommend this one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and I will catch you on the next one.